Northern Ireland's Footballing Greats presents Northern Ireland's all-time 11s. Welcome to the latest NIFG video in which we chart the Northern Ireland players with the shortest international careers. This list is in no way meant to denigrate these players, for all of them, no matter how briefly, achieved the dream carried by each and every member of the Green and White Army. Only players for whom it can be reasonably said have no realistic chance of adding to their caps tally have been considered, so several players who have been capped in the last few years have been overlooked. Without further ado, here we have the top 11, starting with the longest, shortest career to the shortest career. 11th position, Wrexham left-back Sean Holmes, 1 cap, 21 minutes. At home at left-back or as a creative midfielder, Holmes had only ever played reserve team football for Manchester City when first elevated to the senior Northern Ireland squad in June 2001 during an injury crisis. He was an unused substitute for a 3-1 World Cup qualification defeat in the Czech Republic. He left City for Wrexham later that summer and quickly played for the senior Northern Ireland side, just in the unofficial Sammy McIlroy celebration match against Macclesfield. He was getting closer to a proper cap, and finally in March 2002, he came off the bench for Grant McCann in the 69th minute of a 0-0 draw with Liechtenstein, the match that marked the beginning of Northern Ireland's infamous 13-match goal-scoring drought. 3 seasons at Wrexham brought Holmes promotion from the 3rd Division and 3 Welsh Premier Cup wins before moving back across the Irish Sea for spells with Glentoran, Derry City, Finn Harps, Sligo Rovers and Institute. 10th position, Linfield midfielder Michael Galt, 1 cap, 20 minutes. Galt had a long and decorated career in Linfield's midfield, including many years as captain. In a career that brought him 7 league titles and 5 Irish Cups, 2008 proved something of a personal highlight. In March 2008, he was one of 3 Linfield players to come off the bench, the others being Alan Manus and Peter Thompson, in a 4-1 friendly win over Georgia. That season he was also crowned Ulster Footballer of the Year, adding to the Young Player of the Year award he had collected in 2003. Galt left Linfield in 2014 after nearly 500 games, and despite continuing his Premiership career with Portadown, Crusaders and Ballymena, never seemed likely to add to his sole cap. 9th position, Linfield forward Martin McGahey, 1 cap, 17 minutes. Buckets McGahey was enjoying a near-perfect 1984-85 season. His goal-scoring feats in the early season Gold Cup had earned him a flight for 2 on Concorde, and Billy Bingham, always on the lookout for a reliable goal-getter, gave him a 17-minute run-out at the end of a 3-0 friendly win over Israel. McGahey was one of 3 Linfield players to feature that day, with clubmate Lee Docherty among the scorers. By April 1985, Buckets had scored 56 goals for Linfield, with another for the Irish League against the League of Ireland for good measure, but then injury struck. On course for the European Golden Boot, a seriously damaged knee saw him surpassed by Portugal's Fernando Gomes, ruled him out for the entire of the 1985-86 season, and cost him any chance of joining the Northern Ireland squad at Mexico '86. McGahey eventually returned to the pitch after undergoing reconstructive surgery in the USA. The goals and honours continued to mount into the 1990s, but a second cap was never forthcoming. 8th position, Walsall goalkeeper Trevor Wood, 1 cap, 14 minutes. In the 1990s, several Channel Island-born players, such as Matt Le Tissier and Graham Lasso, came to the fore, and the matter of their international eligibility was questioned. It was agreed that any British passport holder born outside the UK would be eligible for any of the home nations, with no other familial ties being required. It was this ruling that would later enable the German-born Mike Taylor to represent Northern Ireland. But first we had Trevor Wood, who was starring for high-flying Walsall in the 3rd Division in the 1994-95 season under the stewardship of Chris Nicholl. Nicholl, realising the lack of depth in Northern Ireland's goalkeeping options, placed a call to his former international teammate Brian Hamilton, making him aware of Wood's eligibility and availability. Wood was first included in the international squad in March 1995, and having travelled round Europe for the remaining Euro 96 qualifiers, was rewarded with an appearance from the bench in the 76th minute of an October 4 0 win over Liechtenstein. The following March he came on as a sub in a B international against Norway, but he had fallen down the international pecking order, behind Alan Fettis, Tommy Wright and Aidan Davison. In the late 1990s, Wood won League of Ireland titles with St Patrick's Athletic, and put in an outstanding performance in a 0-0 Champions League qualifier draw with Celtic. 7th position, Oldham Athletic right back Carl Winchester 1 cap 14 minutes. Carl Winchester came through the ranks at Linfield alongside his twin brother Jude, earning a move to Oldham Athletic in 2010. Carl had played just 6 League One matches when he was called into the Northern Ireland squad for the May 2011 Carling Nations Cup matches. An unused substitute for the match against the hosts, the Republic of Ireland, he made the field in the 76th minute of a 2-0 defeat by Wales as a dismal tournament drew to a close. Winchester was just past his 18th birthday at the time, and despite becoming a regular league player and Northern Ireland under-21 international, he was overlooked for further senior recognition for over a decade. Ian Barraclough recalled the by now Sunderland player to the squad in October 2021, but he was an unused substitute for World Cup qualifiers against Switzerland and Bulgaria. Although still a League One regular with Shrewsbury Town, it seems unlikely that a second cap will come Winchester's way. 6th position, Coleraine midfielder Ray McCoy 1 cap 12 minutes. A goal-scoring winger, McCoy broke into the Coleraine team as a teenager, and at just 19 was the club's top scorer with 24 goals in the 1982-83 season, also winning Ulster Young Footballer of the Year and NIPFA Most Promising Newcomer awards. He continued to earn plaudits, with 1986-87 perhaps being his best campaign for the Bandsiders. The club won the Ulster Cup, and McCoy claimed the Senior Ulster and NIPFA Player of the Year awards. He was also rewarded with an international call-up, coming on as a 78th-minute substitute for Dave McCreary in a 2-1 defeat by Yugoslavia at Windsor Park. McCoy was unable to build on those achievements, with injuries limiting his appearances over the next few seasons. Fit again in 1990, Bingham recalled him to the Northern Ireland panel, and while he was an unused sub for the senior team, he did add an under-21 cap to his collection. After a summer in New Zealand, McCoy made an Irish League record move to Glenavon, Coleraine receiving a £32,000 fee for his services. McCoy claimed many trophies in his near decade at Mourneview, including 2 Irish Cups. 5th position, Crusaders forward Jordan Owens 1 cap 10 minutes. In the 2010-11 season, the then 22-year-old Crusaders striker Jordan Owens scored over 20 goals for the first time. With under-21 and under-23 caps already in his collection, he was therefore a prime candidate for Nigel Worthington to include in his depleted squad for the May 2011 Carling Nations Cup matches in Dublin. When he came off the bench in the 80th minute of a 2-0 defeat by Wales, he joined clubmates Colin Coates and Stuart Dallas, marking the first time 3 Crusaders players had been on an international pitch at the same time. Owens has remained a steady goalscorer throughout his long career with the Crues, enjoying multiple trophy successes, including 4 league titles, 4 Irish Cups and the 2012 Setanta Cup. With over 250 goals, he is by some margin the club's all-time top scorer. 4th position, Glentoran defender John Devine 1 cap 10 minutes. The spring of 1990 must have felt like a whirlwind for John Devine. In the space of 45 days, the 21-year-old defender won a Northern Ireland under-21 cap against Israel, his second Irish Cup medal following a 3-0 win for Glentoran over Portadown, represented the Irish League in an interleague match against the League of Ireland, scored in an under-23 match against the Republic of Ireland, and made his full international debut as an 80th-minute substitute in a 1-0 win over World Cup-bound Uruguay. It was widely predicted that Devine was set for a long international career and a move across the water. The move never materialized, and those 10 minutes against the Uruguayans were to be his only cap. He did play out a highly decorated Irish League career, notably with Glentoran and Coleraine, and in 1999 won an awards double of Ulster Footballer of the Year and Northern Ireland Football Writers Player of the Year. Third position, Crusaders winger Martin Donnelly, 1 cap, 8 minutes. An established Northern Ireland under-21 international, Donnelly was just shy of his 20th birthday when released by Sheffield United in the summer of 2008. Many players are disheartened by such an experience, but not Donnelly, who joined Crusaders and looked to star from the off, his flying play on the left wing bringing plaudits from all corners. In his debut season at Seaview he was crowned Ulster Young Footballer of the Year, won the Irish Cup and was called into the Northern Ireland squad for an end-of-season visit to Pisa, Italy. He took the field in the 82nd minute, replacing Andy Little, by which stage the Italians were cruising to a 3-0 win. Although Donnelly continued to impress across a long and successful career with Crusaders, Cliftonville, Larne and Linfield, he was unable to add to his 8 minutes as an international. He made do with 3 league titles, an Irish Cup, 5 League Cups, 3 County Antrim Shields and over 100 goals across his 500-plus game career. Second position, West Bromwich Albion forward Paul Williams, 1 cap, 8 minutes. At a strapping 6 feet 4 inches, Williams had the perfect build for a target man or a stopper, and across his long career he fulfilled both roles. Son of Betty Williams, who had been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for her conciliatory work during the Troubles, Paul first made footballing headlines for his stunning goal in Distillery's 1985-86 County Antrim Shield win over Ballymena. By the end of 1986 he was a Football League player with Preston. Over the next few seasons he played in defence for Newport County, Sheffield United and Hartlepool before turning up at Stockport County in 1990, and finally had a run of games in the forward line. 16 goals in 29 games took County to the verge of promotion and piqued the interest of bigger clubs. A £250,000 move to West Bromwich Albion does throw up a farcical story, as Stockport actually had 2 players called Paul Williams. The story goes that when West Brom's manager Bobby Gould walked into the dressing room expecting to see a flying black left back and was instead faced by a very sturdy, very white behemoth, he supposedly exclaimed, "Who the hell are you?" Just a few months after the move, Billy Bingham threw Williams onto the international stage as Northern Ireland chased a late winner against the Faroe Islands. Those 8 minutes were scant time for anyone to make an impact, and Williams was unable to make his mark in a highly embarrassing 1-1 draw. What could have been a joyous spring for Williams brought further frustration, as West Brom suffered relegation to Division 2. Williams played out the remainder of the 1990s as a journeyman centre-half/centre-forward for a number of teams, but after 1991 was never in consideration for further international selection. And in first position as the footballer with the shortest ever Northern Ireland career, Distillery winger Peter Watson, 1 cap, 2 minutes. As a goal-scoring outside right, Watson had a long and storied career. After starting out with B Division Newry Town, he had a spell at Aston Villa as a teenager, trophy successes with Glenavon in the mid-60s, interleague honours, a fruitless season with Glentoran, and in April 1971, an Irish Cup win with Distillery, who defeated Derry City 3-0 at Windsor Park. That same month Billy Bingham awarded the 26-year-old Watson a place on the Northern Ireland bench for the visit of Cyprus. And with just 2 minutes to go, and the Irish 5-0 up, he replaced Sammy Todd. Did he touch the ball? We're not quite sure, but it is the shortest Northern Ireland career on record. The Irish FA actually forgot to award Watson his cap, and it took 35 years for that oversight to be rectified, with a special presentation at Lisburn Distillery's new Grosvenor ground. Watson was the Irish League's equal top scorer in 1972, but despite aspirations for another shot across the water, he played out his career with Dundalk, Portadown and Dungannon Swifts, followed by a long managerial and coaching career with Rathfriland Rangers, Portadown, Glenavon, Newry, Lurgan Celtic and Banbridge Town. So, to summarise the 11 players who earned 11 Northern Ireland caps for just 135 minutes of game time: goalkeeper Trevor Wood of Walsall, fullbacks Carl Winchester of Oldham Athletic and Wrexham Sean Holmes, centre-back John Devine of Glentoran, in midfield Linfield's Michael Galt and Colerane's Ray McCoy, Distillery's Peter Watson on the right wing with Martin Donnelly of Crusaders on the left, a forward trio of Paul Williams, West Bromwich Albion, Jordan Owens, Crusaders and Martin Buckets McCahey of Linfield. To round out this list of the footballers with the shortest Northern Ireland careers, we'll look at a player who ranked 18th, Leyton Orient midfielder Kieran Toner. Toner, who had come through the ranks at Tottenham Hotspur, first featured on the Northern Ireland bench alongside Sean Holmes in June 2001. Captain of the under-21s, he earned his next call-up in 2003 after his first season of regular club football with Orient. In June 2003 he came off the bench in a friendly against Italy and most famously for the last 10 minutes of a 0-0 draw with Spain. With a total game time of 31 minutes, he has the shortest Northern Ireland career of any player with more than one cap. He enjoyed a long career in England's lower divisions and has now entered management. Thank you for watching. Please visit the website at nifootball.blogspot.com, follow on X at JCDNIFG, and don't forget to like and share this video here on YouTube. Your comments are very welcome. It would be great to hear your feedback and suggestions for future videos. Please do keep your comments respectful and look out for a new video soon.